Go.
Go check out igsky.com if you're looking for some cheap FIFA 16 coins. Use Rossi for an 8% discount. Enjoy the video. Hello guys, it's Rossi1990 here. It's going to be another one of the transfer rumour videos. First things first, smash the like button if you enjoy these videos. Also, if you've been playing Pokemon Go recently, put a 1 in the comment section below. I want to see how many of you guys have been playing it. I've been playing it. I love Pokemon. Grew up loving Pokemon. That's a different story. I just want to see how many of you guys are actually playing it. But for today's episode, there's not a load of transfers to cover. I have missed quite a few days on the transfer rumours. I stopped doing them for a little bit, not too long, but there wasn't a lot happening. There's stuff been happening in the background, but I like to do a lot when I like to do these videos. But I'm just going to do a midweek, well, not midweek, we're actually on Friday now, kind of one just to, like, still be active, I suppose, in this kind of series, so you guys seem to enjoy. But the first one is apparently a done deal now, which is N'Golo Kante to Chelsea. Now, if this is a done deal, it's an unbelievable signing. I think it's something like 30 million is being suggested. Now, it's not a bad price in the current market, to be honest. I don't know if it was a release fee or something in his contract which allowed him to go for that. Well, that's basically a release fee, isn't it? But it's a fantastic signing. I feel a little bit harsh on Leicester, but the profit they made in him is absolutely ridiculous. I think they got him for next to nothing, or I can't remember exactly how much it was. But to sell him for 30 million, I think it's 30 million pounds, not euros. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. But to get that kind of money for him is decent. But then again, it's kind of a shame because he probably is worth more than that in today's current market. But if it is a done deal, Chelsea have done ridiculously well to get him. I hope he performs. He's still got a lot of years left in him. He's a young midfield player, up and coming. He's still got a lot to learn, to be honest. He's absolutely fantastic, but he's not in his prime as such, as you could say. But I think it's an unbelievable deal for Chelsea. I don't know if it's exactly confirmed yet, but all over my Twitter, all I'm seeing is they've got him. It's a done deal. It's official Twitter is saying it. So apparently it could be confirmed probably in the next 24 hours. It may even be confirmed when you see this video. But we'll move to the next one now, which is going to be Leroy Sané. This is a crazy one. The next two players are him and another guy who apparently Manchester United's owner has given Pep Guardiola the go-ahead to spend 100 million on the combined two of Leroy Sané and John Stones. Absolutely crazy if true. Now, John Stones, for me, I don't know how he's worth 50 million. He had a rubbish season last season. He's got potential. He had a really good season the season before that. And then all the hype about the transfer probably got to him a little bit and maybe, you know, made him play not so great. He's still an unbelievable talent. He's English as well, which is going to up his value even more because they just cost more money. But I don't know, 50 million. What do you guys make of that one in the comment section below? You could probably get a ton better players for a lot less money. Not necessarily going to be English, but probably should go back to him. We've skipped ahead now, guys. We've skipped ahead. You've seen the next one. But John Stones, Leroy Sané will be an unbelievable signing, by the way, if they do sign him. A lot of potential in him. But we'll move to the next one now. You probably have seen it just a second ago. It is, in fact, a football manager legend, Wonderkid, Eder Balanta. Now, he has actually today moved, I do believe, on a permanent deal, I think it is, to Basel, the team which did have Mbolo, who actually sold him to Schalke. So they said one Wonderkid for another Wonderkid on Football Manager. There you go. He's a really good player on Football Manager. You always seem to buy him for cheap, but now he's moved. It'll probably be you won't be able to buy him actually for a season, so that kind of sucks. But he's actually not a bad FIFA card either. He's got not the best work rates in the world, but I see a lot of defenders seem to have high attacking work rate. I don't know what it is. I don't see the hype. It pisses me off. But anyway, that's a good move for them. I think it's a good signing. Don't know the exact fee, but I don't think it was too much. It's not bad in general. The next player is Gonzalo Higuain. Now, this guy is going to be one of them ones I see going for a long time, if that makes sense. Like, I see this one being drawn out. As I say that, it'll probably be a done deal tomorrow or something. But there's a few teams after him. Juventus and Arsenal being two. There's probably a lot more as well because he's got a release clause in his contract, which is like 86 million or something along those lines. Now, Juventus want him, but they want to pay cash and players. I think Zaza was mentioned. Maybe some of the other fringe kind of players at Juventus. Not necessarily like a Pogba or something like that. But Higuain to Juventus, potentially. And also Arsenal, like I said, are interested. But I think if anybody going to get him, Juventus will probably end up winning the deal, I see. Arsenal is apparently going to offer money and Giroud, so I'm not really too sure exactly what Napoli want. They've got some choices of players at the moment, which is crazy. So what do you guys make of that one? Higuain on the move, potentially. He had an absolutely unreal season last season. He's got himself a fantastic rated card there at 95. And yeah, we'll go over to the next player now, which is going to be Julian Draxler. Now, this one Have you ever been on Sky Sports? There's a thing called Whispers, and it means transfers which have been talked about a lot, potentially could be happening. He's always at the top of that whisper list at the moment to move to Arsenal, but apparently the Wolfsburg chairman or owner, or whatever you want to call them, has come out and said he is not for sale. Literally not for sale at any price. You've heard people say that before and they still get sold, but apparently he's not for sale. So Arsenal fans, unfortunately, you may not be getting your man. I don't know if they need him though. He is an unbelievable player, but Arsenal, do they really need more kind of left mid, right mid cam kind of players, the free and beyond the striker? I really don't know if they need that type of player, but he's an unbelievable talent, so kind of missing out potentially on that one. The next one is another Wolfsburg player potentially on the move, which is Andre Schürrle, and apparently he may be moving to Dortmund. I think it'll be a good deal if he does go there. Apparently the Wolfsburg chairman did say Draxler is not going to move, but he didn't say that Schürrle wasn't, if that makes sense. He didn't kind of say that he was definitely not for sale, but I'd imagine they don't want to lose him on the cheap. But Dortmund obviously need to buy some players. They've lost a few players, Mkhitaryan, but they've also bought some good players, Dortmund. They've bought a lot of young players, which I think is really, really good. And Andre Schürrle may fit the bill. Will they sign him? We'll have to wait over the coming days. The next player is Subotic, and apparently he is close to signing for Middlesbrough. This one actually might be done. I saw it rumoured like all the time, and then it went quiet for a little bit, and then it came back up. Middlesbrough apparently going to get their man. I think it'd be a crazy good deal for Middlesbrough if they get a guy like this. He's a bit of a, I don't know how to describe him. I don't think he plays a lot for Dortmund. I can't imagine if he's moved to Middlesbrough. I don't know if it's a free transfer or like a small fee, because some people were saying he was out of contract. Others were saying he's having to go for a transfer fee. So I'm not really exactly too sure on that one. But the next player is another one to Middlesbrough, and that is Negredo. Now, Negredo was a strange one because I thought he was really good when he was at Man City until I looked at his goal scoring record, and it wasn't great. But you've got to consider a lot of it was probably off the bench, and that isn't really put into consideration. But he's a good player. I don't know how well he's doing at Valencia. I wouldn't imagine he's doing fantastic. I don't think Valencia had a good season, did they? I'm not exactly too sure where they finished, but I know at a stage they weren't doing great. But Negredo, I think he suits the Premier League. I think he's that type of player who does suit the Premier League. And for a team like Middlesbrough, I think you can't really go wrong, personally. But Middlesbrough have got some good strikers, so I'll see how that one develops in the coming days. The next one is now a done deal. When I went to do this one, it wasn't quite a done deal, but he is rumoured to go into Juventus. But it is now a done deal. He is joined them on loan. I think there's like a loan fee of like 2 million or something in there. So it's actually a good deal for Bayern, who, you know, they're not short on centre-backs now that they've brought in Hummels. They've already got Boateng, obviously. They've got a good load of centre-backs. They've also got, oh God, I can't remember what he's called. There's a young one they've got. But it's a good deal, I think, actually. Juventus are signing a few players, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what their team's going to look like next season. Does that mean they're losing one? Bonucci obviously linked with a few moves away. They've got obviously Chiellini and Barzagli. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that one pans out. But they do normally play free at the back sometimes, so you got to have multiple defenders, to be fair. So the next one is Rico Henry, and this is a guy who's actually potentially linked with Leeds, but it's gone a little bit quiet now. He's also linked with Leicester. There's a couple of other clubs in there linked with him. He's a really good up-and-coming talent. If you haven't known this guy, you probably don't know who this guy is. I didn't know who this guy was. I've looked on YouTube. I know that's not exactly a good thing to do, but he looks really, really good for a left-back who's young. Was playing in League One last season for Warsaw, and I think he's looking for a move away potentially. I don't know if exactly it'll be to Leeds, but that's the kind of rumour which is going around at the moment. Leeds are monitoring a situation, as like I said, are Leicester, so whether or not he'll go to Leeds, I don't know. But the guy who is linked with Leeds, and this is the final one for today's episode, is Anthony Limbombe. Now, Leeds actually went to sign him last year. They had a bid in for him, but then the price got kind of like too high for Leeds 1, and they went and bought Butaka instead, which is good for me because he's 5-star skills on my team. But this guy is a linked again. He is apparently leaving NEC. He plays in the Eredivisie for them. He's actually probably a better player than Butaka in that league last season, or the season before for Butaka, obviously. But I think he'll be a good player if he does make the move to Leeds. I've seen a few clips about him. He looks like a skillful player. He looks more suited to like a championship style of football than maybe the guy Leeds bought Sacco is, which is also a left winger, or maybe a right winger. Not exactly too sure which wing he plays on. His favourite one anyway. But I think if they do get Limbombe, I'll be quite happy with that. I think you can't really have enough wingers for me. I love wingers, like any game. You know, on FIFA I love to play with wingers. Football Manager always play with wingers, and Leeds never have wingers, barely. But this year so far they got Dallas, they got Sacco, they got Roof, who can play on the wing but can actually play a striker or cam as well. So they got options now, which is actually decent. They just need to find a few more players, and it's Anthony Limbombe going to be one of them. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, a like would be absolutely fantastic. If you're new around here, don't be afraid to subscribe. Also, let me know in the comment section below if your team is linked with any players at the moment. There is rumours flying around, but not too many done deals going through at this very second. But if your team is linked with somebody, let me know in the comment section below if you're happy about it, sad about it, whatever you feel about it. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll catch you next time, and do bye-bye. Boop! Titties!